So we just went through a section of the Kansas interstate where there was a surprise toll, and so after experiencing tolls in Illinois and Kansas now, I gotta say that I am against toll roads, and there's some particular reasons. As a tourist, well, let me ask you this, John. As a tourist, do you feel more welcome, equally welcome, or less welcome when there's a toll road?
Of those three options, I would say I feel less welcome.
And do you feel strongly or mildly in this way?
I feel strongly that I am unwelcome at a place where they make me pay to drive on their roads, which aren't that good.
So there's some market research for you, states, municipalities, jurisdictions out there, countries, whatever. If you're thinking about tolling your roads, I don't think it's the most efficient way of paying for your roads. For one thing, you have to have the infrastructure in place. Here in Kansas, they had to give us a ticket from an automated machine, so you have to build the machine, the place where the machine goes, you have to power the machine, maintain the machine, there's the tickets, the printing, all of that introduces additional cost. Then, you take away the benefit of having the road by making the traffic pull off to the side to get the ticket. Then, on all the exits, at least in this Kansas experience, you had to have staffed toll booths so they could read the ticket, tell you how much you owe, and then collect the money. Now, sure, okay, that's employing those people, but I don't think it's a super efficient way of spending taxpayer dollars. So, there's that. Additionally, the locals know all about this, right? They probably heard when the local government or the state government, whatever, was going to bring in this new freeway, this new highway, whatever, and toll it. There was probably a big debate, and the people probably expressed their opinions, and there was frustration, consternation, all this stuff. So they had time to hear about it and understand how it was going to work. And the other thing is too, you're treating people who aren't locals very differently because, there's the electronic method of payment and the discounted thing for locals and all this. And so it's tourists end up paying more, and that's somewhat okay, but this is a very unwelcoming way to do it because I feel like I'm not in the know. Driving down toll roads, both here in Kansas and in Illinois, we didn't know what we were going to be paying. The signage, in terms of, at least Illinois indicated a signage because it wasn't this complex ticketing system. But even then, the signage wasn't always very clear, and it wasn't very early, so it didn't necessarily give us a lot of time to get our cash together. And the fact is, John's the driver, I'm the passenger, I'm here, extra set of hands, I can pull the cash together. But if it was a driver on their own, not anticipating a toll road, not knowing what to pay, are they going to be fumbling trying to get cash while they're driving? That's not safe. Or are they going to get up to the toll booth and then have to take 5 minutes to figure it all out? That's not very efficient either, and it slows down the whole benefit. And while you're waiting, doing all that, your car is idling, so it's not good for the environment either. I just don't see much of an upside here. There's other revenue sources, because honestly, John, how do you feel about Illinois?
I'm annoyed with Illinois. I'm Illinois.
And so, do you want to go back to Illinois?
No, for many reasons.
And what would, other than like road closures and traffic and expensive parking, what else might there be?
Well, the toll roads.
Well, there you go then. So, Illinois, you're less likely to see us again because that was an irritating experience. It's not the fact of having to pay the money. If you wanted to have a small tax on hotels, for example, that went towards infrastructure, okay, that's fine. That's not as inconvenient, and it's not as unwelcoming. So, bit of a rant, but it's kind of a pain.
You know what? I'm going to say something here. I would be okay with a toll road if I got some sort of benefit from it, right? Like, if the road I was on let me go 10, 15 miles faster than a regular interstate, then I'd be like, okay, yeah, I'll pay an extra $3.50 to be able to go much faster and cut off a good chunk of my trip. But that's not the case. It's the same speed everywhere else. So you're getting no benefit for the money that you pay.
And what we're doing right now in Kansas wasn't fully planned in advance, so I'm not sure how a non-toll option would have fared in terms of speed and time and distance. But in Illinois, I did look into this carefully, and there was a non-toll option that would have added literally minutes, like 2 minutes to the trip. And I'm pretty sure we lost that time at the toll booths. So I don't even think it was an advantage. If anything, it was equal or perhaps a detriment in Illinois. So that was just a mess. So I think that's, I understand that you got to pay for these things, and people don't like taxes and stuff. I get all that, but tourism is an important industry that brings business, and it's it can introduce new people to an area. Maybe somebody, you know, while traveling gets an idea to go open a store or something, or move to an area. And so, you know, there's the direct influence of tourism where you get the tourist dollars, the money spent at the hotel and the restaurants. But there's secondary stuff too, you know, from surrounding all of that. You know, the local Walmart sells a few more, you know, bottles of water for the people who are on the road and things like that. You know, people get exposed to new businesses, new entertainment, all sorts of different stuff. And I think that toll roads really cuts into that a little bit. So, I don't know. First world problem, sure, but I just think there's a better way.
I also don't think there's any toll roads in Canada. Like, I think the Coquihalla used to have a $5 toll. They got rid of that years and years ago. And keep in mind, I've done literally zero research on it. But yeah, I can't recall any toll roads in Canada.
The Coquihalla was tolled, and then they took it down once it was paid for. So they paid it off, and then they shut down the toll booths. So it's no longer. And there was a section of the Highway 1, no less, which I don't think that Highway 1, because of like some of the rules in Canada about being able to move from province to province without impediment or cost. I think it should frankly be, I thought it was illegal to toll the Highway 1, but apparently it's not, because near Coquitlam, it was tolled for a while, but then there was a change in government at the provincial level. They took the tolls away. So those are the only ones that I'm currently aware of. It just seems so inefficient, and there's so many drawbacks. The price you pay versus that revenue source, it seems like a massive bureaucracy and infrastructure that you have to put around it that does little good beyond maybe employing some folks, and that's great and all, but there's probably better ways to do that. So, tolls suck.
Tolls suck.
If you like this rant, please click like. Spread the word that tolls suck. If you agree with us, do tolls suck? Thumbs up. Do you love tolls? Give us a thumbs down. We'll take that heat. We want that heat. And let us know down below, what do you think about tolls? Do you think that that's the best way to pay for roads? Do you think that we're crazy for caring about this at all? I mean, it's not a huge amount of money. It's largely the inconvenience and the unfriendliness of the whole thing, I think, is part of what it is. And hey, you know, we've got some other rants on this channel. Check it out. I had a spa rant that's pretty epic, and a formal dress rant and other things. So if you like us complaining about stuff, here's the spot for it. Click subscribe. And thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.